So, today we are talking about consciousness and the mind and body. And I think this is an important one to address from the beginning for a couple reasons. One, because consciousness is kind of the place where happiness happens. And also, some people believe it's all that you need to be happy forever. If you just give up your desires and see through the illusion of a separate self, you can be free of suffering and eternally blissful. And it's called enlightenment. So, stands to reason that if that's possible, all I need to do is become enlightened and I can be happy forever. It would be a waste of time to do all the other stuff about making myself happy, like mm, having purpose and meaning and a job I like and diet and exercise and sleep and whatnot. So, first, I want to start by defining what consciousness is and what it's not, because wannabe philosopher hippies like myself have overused the word consciousness until it lost its meaning. So let me share with you what I have learned that the definition of consciousness is. So there's sentience and consciousness. Sentience refers to the capacity to feel sensations like pleasure or pain. It's just the ability to feel things. Consciousness is a broader, more encompassing awareness not only of sensations, but also of thoughts, self reflection, and one's own existence. It involves a higher level of cognitive processing, including the ability to think about one's own thoughts, which is called metacognition. So, sentience is I can feel things. Consciousness is kind of I'm aware that I exist. I can think about my thoughts. I can interpret them and have reflections about what I'm thinking and feeling and so forth. I'm going to use them interchangeably from now on. So I think there's two things you can be certain of about consciousness that you can know just by observing your own experience. One, consciousness seems to be a necessary prerequisite for happiness, or anything for that matter, because it is the ability to experience things, and happiness is a thing you can experience. I think we can test this intuition by speculating whether an unconscious person could be happy, whether a dead body could experience happiness, or something to that effect. I think you have to be conscious to experience happiness. The second thing is consciousness seems to be inseparable from the brain. I think we can know this by taking away body parts until we're left with the quintessential thing necessary for consciousness. If you can cut your hand off and still be conscious, well, it's not your hand that you need for consciousness. And you can find people that are missing legs that are conscious. You can find people that are missing arms that are conscious. You can find people that are missing hair that are conscious. You can find people missing pretty much anything but a brain that are still conscious. So it seems that a brain is where the consciousness is happening. So here are the prerequisites for consciousness. You have to have a brain in a working body to host the brain, because as of yet, we cannot get brains to live in vats, at least that I'm aware of. You have to have a brain in a working body that is currently alive, because you can imagine a perfectly good brain and body that is dead and therefore not conscious, or at least not conscious in a place that we're able to comprehend. Maybe they're conscious in heaven or in a different realm, but that is outside of my capacity to understand. But even that is not enough to be conscious. Even if you have a brain and a body and are alive, you could still not have what you need to be conscious, because you could be all those things, but say, for example, currently knocked out or on fentanyl or asleep and not dreaming. So you need to have a brain, have a body, be alive, and currently be conscious to be conscious. And that only gets you to being conscious. The theme of this channel is happiness. So how do you be conscious and happy? Well, as I have said a couple times already, I define happiness as a concoction of neurochemicals and neuro pathways that are firing in a certain way that we label as happiness. So you need to be conscious, and your brain needs to be in a happy state. Now that's where the debate kind of comes into play of what exactly do you need to be happy? Because I've read a lot of books and Eastern philosophy like The Power of Now, Don't Believe Everything You Think, The Untethered Soul, A Very Short Introduction to Buddha, um, all of which suggest that you can learn to enjoy consciousness unseasoned, unaltered, bland consciousness. You can learn to enjoy that by itself, and you always have access to that. So all you need to be happy is consciousness. You need to learn to like it. And that's kind of called enlightenment. That is called enlightenment. Now, I don't think that enlightenment is enough to be happy. Now, I will say I am not the expert on this. If you want to be enlightened, don't listen to me. There's plenty of other people that know more. But from where I stand, it seems that happiness is a evolutionary mechanism, and did not evolve to optimize for enlightenment. We evolved to optimize for many other things. So I think we can take some useful tools from Eastern philosophy, namely meditation, which I define as observing your mind and separating yourself from it. I think that's very useful and very helpful for happiness. However, I don't think enlightenment is the path that at least I'm going to go down for becoming happy. Maybe I will in the future. But as of right now, I still think you need a separate self, and you need to make that self happy with things like diet, exercise, fulfillment, gratitude, etc. So meditation is very useful. However, enlightenment's not the path that I'm going to go down. I think the bottom line of all this is if you're experiencing anything, you must first be conscious. Eastern philosophy seems to suggest that we are fundamentally nothing other than consciousness, and witnessing consciousness alone is enough to be happy. But if that doesn't float your boat, like it doesn't float mine, then you kind of have to go through all the other steps of being happy the traditional way. So that's what the rest of the videos are going to be about. But I just wanted to quickly address whether or not I thought the silver bullet of happiness via enlightenment was a viable route. And I think it can be useful, but I don't think it is sufficient for happiness. All right, that's all. I will see you guys again very, very soon. Also, I got a podcasting mic just so I can like say things and have authority and sound important. So that's what this is for, by the way. Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.